Alrighty, guys. Well, we are on hero number 20 already in our tutorial series for Sentinels of the Multiverse Enhanced Edition. So, this one is an interesting one. This is Setback, where he's all about lucky, unlucky. Some of his cards will cause his unlucky meter to go up. Some of his cards will use some of those resources, so that's what he does. Pretty interesting. Let's take a look at him and see what he does. There he is, Setback. You can see he's got the little die as his logo on his chest. We'll look at the history behind him. And, you know, that we always, some people are just super unlucky, right? So he's kind of the epitome of that turns into a superhero. And so interesting stuff. All right. So again, you can watch that later on YouTube or pause it or whatever. Let's go ahead and take a look at his card. 31 hit points, pretty decent amount of hit points. Setback, a change for better to worse. Risk, power, add one token to your unlucky pool and play the top card of your deck. And when he's defeated, one hero may use a power, one player may play a card, discard the top card of every deck. And you can see he's hanging up his outfit there. All right, so he does have a variant, which is only 30 hit points. Dark Watch Setback, a change from better to worse. Mitigate, remove one token from your unlucky pool. Reduce the next damage dealt to a hero target by 2. That's pretty good, actually. Reducing damage by 2 is pretty gosh darn strong. So, but unfortunately, it's the next hero target, so you're never sure who that's going to go against. All right, so that's his different variants. Let's take a look at his cards and his gimmick and what he does. He's all about unlucky and putting tokens into his lucky or unlucky pile. Cash out one shot. Remove any number of tokens from your unlucky pool. Draw them any cards. And each player may discard one card. If H-1 cards are discarded this way, each hero target regains 2 hit points. Not a bad card. Cause and effect, one shot. You may destroy one ongoing or environment card. And Setback deals one target and himself as much psychic damage as there are tokens in his unlucky pool. So 5, 6, 8 tokens. Yeah, could be quite a bit of damage. Exceeded expectations. One shot. Remove any number of tokens from your unlucky pool. And Setback deals that many targets 3 melee damage each. So you could remove 7 tokens and do 7 targets, 3 damage each. You know, that's, where is mitigation and figuring out what you're going to play and how many tokens you would like to have in there on your meter is very, very important. I should mention there are 3 copies of this card. There are 2 copies of this card, and there are 3 copies of that card. My apologies for that. So 3, 2, 3, and for Friendly Fire, 2 copies of this card. And there's Tempest there. Ongoing, whenever a hero target deals a non-hero target damage, that hero may also deal Setback 2 damage of the same type. Whenever Setback is dealt damage this way, add 2 tokens to your unlucky pool. Whew. Okay. So, Fumbling Fool, one shot, 3 copies of this card. Discard the top card of each deck, and you may add or remove H tokens from your unlucky pool. Add or remove 4, or if you're playing with 4 heroes, tokens from your unlucky pool. So you can add a bunch of tokens or remove them. High risk behavior, ongoing. Increased damage dealt to and by Setback, to and by villain targets by 1 for every 3 tokens in your unlucky pool. At the start of your turn, you may add or remove one token from your unlucky pool. So, I mean, you could have, say, 9 tokens in there. You'd be taking extra 3 damage and dealing an extra 3 damage. Or, you know, it's interesting. Karmic Retribution, 1 shot. If you have fewer than 7 in your unlucky pool, remove one of them. If you do, you regain 2 hit points. Or, if you have 7 or more tokens in your unlucky pool, remove 7 of them, and Setback deals 1 target 7 damage. That's pretty good, and all you're doing is adding a bunch of unlucky, and then bam, get lucky shot off. It's so thematic, it's so cool, and of course you're using the 777 damage, so being lucky is considered 7. There are 3 copies of this card, so yeah, you might want to have a lot of tokens on there, so when these cards comes out, boom, you can do 7 damage to somebody. That's pretty good. Looking up, ongoing. At the start of your turn, if you have 10 or more tokens, Setback deals himself 3 psychic damage, so not good, but power. Add 3 tokens to your lucky pool, and then Setback deals 1 target 3 damage. So if you can mitigate making sure you're not going over 10, this is a great card. As long as you don't never get up to 10 tokens on there. So 3 tokens to deal 1 target 3 damage. So you want to, you know, and then you can use this card to spend 7 of them to deal 7 damage. So you don't get to the 10 again and start building up again. Plucky Break. It's a 1 shot. There are 3 copies of this card. Remove 2 tokens from your unlucky pool. If you do, draw 1 card, and Setback deals 1 target 2 melee damage. If there are 0 tokens in your unlucky pool, Setback regains 3 hit points. So get yourself, he's picking something up off the ground, and you know, somebody's doing an attack that completely misses him because he's lucky. 3 copies of that card. 4 copies of Reckless Rush. 4 copies, 1 shot. Setback deals 1 target 2 melee damage. Setback deals himself 2 melee damage, and add 2 tokens to your unlucky pool. 2 copies of Silver Lining. Ongoing. If Setback would be reduced to 0 or fewer hit points, you remove all the tokens from your unlucky pool and restore Setback to hit points equal to the amount of tokens removed this way. Then destroy this card. So you're getting a getting out of jail free card is this Silver Lining. So you can have a whole bunch of cards or a whole bunch of tokens in your unlucky pool and turn them all into the Silver Lining. All right. 2 copies of Surprising Fortune. Ongoing. Power. Remove 2 tokens from your unlucky pool. If you do, Setback regains 2 hit points, and 1 player may draw 2 cards. 2 copies of Turn of Events. 1 shot. Remove each tokens from your unlucky pool. If you do, each other player may use a power now. Again, getting these unlucky, building them up, and then spending them. So, you know, if you're playing with 4 characters, spend 4 tokens, and if you do, every other player gets to use a power, which can be huge. And then Setback deals himself 2 psychic damage. 2 copies of Uncharmed Life. Ongoing. When a hero target would be dealt damage, You may remove 2 tokens from your unlucky pool to redirect that damage to Setback. And then power, Setback regains 3 hit points and destroy this card. So he can help protect his allies a little bit. If somebody else is going to get knocked out, maybe give him a shot to protect him. 3 copies of Oops, Sorry. It's a one-shot. Destroy 1 non-character card belonging to another hero. So you're going to have to destroy 1 of their cards. You may destroy an ongoing or environment card and then add or remove 3 tokens from your lucky pool. So destroying 1 of your other hero cards, destroying an ongoing or an environment card, and then removing or adding 3 unlucky tokens. 3 copies of that. And then 1 copy of Wrong Time and Place. It's an ongoing card. The first time a hero target would be dealt damage each turn, redirect that damage to Setback. Or remove X tokens from your unlucky pool to redirect that damage to a target where X is the amount of damage. So if he's going to take 3 damage, he can remove 3 tokens and redirect that to somebody else every time, which could be a lot of damage if you can get a lot of those tokens in there. And then at the start of your turn, you may shuffle this card back into your deck. So if you don't want to continue doing that, you can just shuffle it back in your deck. All right, so that is a look at Setback and his crazy. It's what. What do I think about Setback? He is definitely an interesting character with the luck mechanic and unlucky, and depending on how many tokens you have in there and adjusting up and down. He does take a little bit to figure it out. It's also one of these characters you have different processes. Again, you might want to do like the looking up and follow that by, the karmic retribution. But if you don't have those 2 cards, it's hard to get that combination to go together. So you're constantly trying to figure out, well, if I do this, can I make that card work with this card? Or can I make this card work with this card? He does have the very cool Silver Lining power, which a lot of characters would love to be able to get use. I mean, there's a lot of ways for him to add tokens, to his unlucky meter, right? But he is going to be taking a little bit of damage himself. He's got a little bit of mitigation. He's got ways to get rid of ongoing cards. He can do a lot of damage if he has a lot of tokens out there to a lot of enemies. 1 token per enemy, 6 enemies, 6 tokens, boom, gone. He's got a lot of different combinations, and how they all work together is kind of neat, kind of interesting. And it is all about balancing and trying to manipulate. Do I want a whole bunch of tokens? Do I not want to take a whole bunch of tokens? Like this one, like this one right here. You don't want to have a whole bunch of tokens out there. You're going to be doing a whole bunch of damage to yourself. But, if you can heal some of that back, it might be worth it. Deal 8 damage to yourself. And then, 7 tokens for 7 damage. That's a lot of damage. That's nothing to sneeze at. Just to spend tokens, and that's a one-shot ability. So you can build them up pretty quickly and use them. And again, trying to get, add some more tokens to your unlucky pool to constantly cycling through so you can use them again for other aspects is a pretty neat idea and very cool to keep the player engaged and keeping them always guessing. And it's not just automatically, too. You have to make sure you're getting, figuring out what you're going to be playing and how you're going to be playing it to try and mitigate the enemies. It's really cool gameplay. It's a very cool character. I've always enjoyed Setback, and I think you guys will enjoy him as well. I think he's really cool. I think he plays very interesting, and he can definitely do a lot of cool things. And you feel like you're this lucky, unlucky kind of character, and the way it's designed is really nice. It kind of simulates that. So that is Setback, a cool character for you guys to check out and try. And let me know what you think if you played him. And if you have any good strategies, I'd love to hear some. I don't have any, to be honest. I haven't played him enough to get any really good strategies, but he's one of these characters that I try to wrap my head around trying to figure out the best way to play him, but I have not ever been able to figure that out. I just don't play him enough, I guess. But we'll see when we do our playthrough and see if we can figure out a cool way to play him. The fumbling fool. You fumbling fool. All right, well, that is a look at this is a great power. Like, remove 4 or 5 tokens, how many heroes you're playing, and then everyone gets to activate a power. Wow, that is like so. I mean, it's everyone gets to activate a power. I'm sorry, every other player gets to activate a power. He doesn't get to, but I mean, he deals himself 2 damage, which is not a lot. It's something, but it's 2 damage. He removes 4 tokens, and 3 other characters gets to play powers. That's insanely powerful. Unfortunately, there's only 2 of those. So he's got some really good abilities, some really good powers. And he's got ways to regain some hit points too. So he's not a slack, and he comes with 31 hit points. So yeah, I think he's definitely a cool character to try out and play. Highly recommend him. Very cool character. Setback. Thanks for watching. Character number 20 on our list. And we'll see you next time. Until then, my friends, you take care of yourselves. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.